The boardroom was filled with polished shoes, sharp suits, and shallow smirks. The CEO stood furious, pointing at the dazzling model of their new 200 million headquarters, a design so intricate and human-centered that it had already gained media attention. "This can't be designed by him," the CEO barked, glancing at the man in front of him. "Bring me the real architect." Silence fell like a dropped stone. Then, from the back of the room where no one ever looked, a janitor slowly raised her hand, trembling but steady. Everyone froze. No one breathed. Because in that moment, the janitor revealed a truth that would shake the entire company to its core. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe our channel for more real-life inspired emotional stories. Elena Thompson had worked at Stratos design firm for 6 years, not as an architect, but as the evening janitor. Most employees never even bothered to learn her name. To them, she was just the woman who mopped up coffee spills and emptied bins. But behind her quiet demeanor and cold hands lay a mind that once dreamed in steel and light. 10 years ago, Elena had been the top of her class at a prestigious architecture school. But a sudden illness in her family forced her to drop out and take up odd jobs to cover her brother's medical bills. Dreams were postponed, not forgotten. At Stratos, she found a strange peace cleaning late at night. The silence of the office allowed her to roam the design studios, staring at unfinished drafts left on desks. She would often take photos of sketches, reimagine them at home, and draw her own versions, saving them in an old portfolio she kept locked in her closet. Her hands were worn from cleaning chemicals, but her mind was still building towers, bridges, and sanctuaries of hope. One night, while vacuuming near the corner cubicle of Marcus Green, a mid-level architect, she noticed he had left his renderings on the screen. Beautiful but flawed. She hesitated, then scribbled a small suggestion on a sticky note and left it anonymously. The next day, she saw her suggestion had been implemented. It became a pattern. Quiet contributions, tiny edits, anonymous help. Marcus thought he had a secret admirer or maybe a ghost in the office. He never imagined the janitor who greeted him with a shy nod in the elevator was the silent genius behind his growing reputation. Months passed. Elena's invisible influence shaped entire projects. When Marcus was assigned to submit a concept for the company's most important pitch, a new corporate HQ that would define their future, he panicked. He was good, but not that good. So one night he asked the empty hallway, half joking, half serious, "Whoever you are, help me again." Elena stepped out of the shadows. Marcus was stunned. "You," he whispered when Elena hesitantly showed him her designs sketched in charcoal and ink, each line trembling with suppressed brilliance. At first, he didn't know whether to feel ashamed, surprised, or grateful. But as he flipped through page after page of her work, emotion overtook pride. He knew he could never design like this. They formed an unspoken partnership. She designed, he refined, and presented. Marcus gave her access to his software. She stayed up after cleaning shifts, working till dawn, pouring her soul into what would become the winning pitch. Their design was unlike anything the company had seen. A sustainable community-centered building that used natural light, flowing structures, and local materials. It felt like art, not just architecture. The CEO loved it. When Marcus presented it, he received standing ovations from department heads. Investors called it revolutionary. The media began buzzing, but the praise felt hollow to him. He tried telling the executives that he hadn't designed it alone, but they brushed it off. "It's a team effort," they said. Then came the day of the unveiling. All the company heads were present: clients, journalists, even the mayor. The CEO stood up, shaking Marcus's hand, and addressed the audience. "We are proud of this design, but something doesn't add up. I've known Marcus for years, and forgive me, son, but this feels beyond you. So let me ask this clearly. Bring me the real architect. The room froze, and from the very back, mopping the floor in her worn uniform, Alina raised her hand. The room exploded into murmurs. Some gasped, some laughed, assuming it was a joke. The CEO narrowed his eyes. Who are you? Elena stepped forward, spine straight, heart pounding like war drums in her chest. My name is Alina Thompson, she said. I'm the janitor here, but I'm also the one who designed this building. Disbelief, confusion. But Marcus stood beside her and confirmed it. It's true, he said. Everything you see in that model, those were her ideas. I just helped bring them into the software she's been designing at night while we all sleep. A long silence. Then the CEO asked to see her work, her real sketches, her notebook, her process. Alina pulled out her old portfolio, the same one she'd carried for years. She opened it and laid it across the table. One by one, the room leaned in. You could hear a pin drop. They were not just drawings. They were stories told in steel, glass, and air. Schools shaped like open arms. Homes that caught light in all the right ways. Community centers with gardens on their roofs. Every page bore the mark of someone who had suffered, but still believed beauty was possible. The CEO sat back slowly. You designed with feeling, with purpose, she nodded. Because I've cleaned enough corners to know where the light should fall. I've walked through silent offices to know what makes a space feel alive. And I've had to give up dreams before, but not anymore. The firm offered her a job on the spot. But Alina didn't just want a position. She wanted a voice. She asked to lead a team to mentor others who had been overlooked, to create internships for those without privilege, to bring design back to the people. 6 months later, Thompson Design Division was born, headed by Elena, with Marcus as her partner. The building was constructed, and it wasn't just beautiful. It felt like hope. On opening day, the mayor gave a speech. This space was made by someone who understands people, not just blueprints. And that, he said, looking at Alina is what true architecture is. Greatness doesn't always wear a suit. Sometimes it holds a mop. Sometimes the real architect is the one you never noticed. True genius doesn't need permission to shine.